Bro, I was gonna do this one, but the battery is dead and shit. I'll just do this one tomorrow. What I noticed is that this is 400 milligrams, bro. The rest of shit, I don't know what it is, but it's supposedly this was supposed to be a 500 milligram. Yeah, nah, this shit is only 400 milligrams. Let's go ahead and get to this hoe, bro. The other one that I did, bro, I was gonna do the Mad Labs, but today the battery is dead and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and smoke on this. Back then in Mexico, bro, there was this mountain. In the mountain at first, bro, it only had like a building on the top, right? And that building on the top, this hoe looks crazy, bro. Shout out to EUREKA. This right here, it was $35 for the half a gram. I like the color on this, bro. The other one that I tried on this, the baby green one, bro, that's the best one that I tried yet on a distillate card. That shit is crazy flavor, bro. Make sure you go watch that one. This one tastes like Kool-Aid. Like some really good Kool-Aid. There used to be that mountain, bro, that it only had the building. After supposedly the aliens landed and shit.
Please, no. We mean you no harm.
Oh, see? They are peaceful.
Well, if they're so peaceful, man, why were they choking us a few minutes ago?
Oh, that's how we say hello.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Well, how do you guys say goodbye?
Oh, I had to ask.
If you think that's strange, you should see how we pee.
They made it into like a whole big ass pyramid. This pyramid, there's video of it inside. Y'all watching it inside right now. There's this seat, bro. In the seat, it's like a tiger. Back then and stuff, the king, bro, the king, the person that used to like run that village or whatever, he used to sit right there, and they used to sacrifice the people to the god of thunder and stuff, bro. The god that will make it rain. But the Indians, they do the same, bro. But what they do, they dance. It's like they dance in a circle. They do it like a frog, bro. Like the way that a frog does it. And this shit already got me high, bro. That's so fucking crazy. They keep one person on their back and the frog that jumps. This hoe is great. The Indians, they dance and stuff, and like they're praying and stuff that it rains, bro. And the reason that like the Indians pray that it rains and they run around like a frog and stuff like that, whenever it rains and stuff, right? There's frog, bro. There's a frog that comes from the ground. About 9 months out the year, bro, the frog is underground, bro. But sometimes whenever it comes out, you can hear it, you know what I mean? If you know about it, you know what I mean? You grab it and stuff, and you grab a glass, bro, and you scare it. Whenever you scare it and stuff, just don't hurt the frog, bro. But if you, like, whenever you scare it and stuff, just grab the venom that it spreads. Over there in California, the technology, this shit is like way advanced, bro. They already got vapes and stuff. The vapes, they're DMT, bro. That venom that they scrape from the frog, bro, you could vape it, you could put it in a crack pipe, you could put it in a meth pipe, you know what I mean? That's crackhead shit. It's because that thing that the king used to sit at, bro, he used to sacrifice people to the gods that for it to rain. This hoe is kind of harsh. It's not smooth, I'm gonna tell you that. And then on my lungs, bro, I could definitely feel it. The live rosin ones, you hit it, bro, and just it's so smooth, you know what I mean? But the thing about it, bro, it does get me high. I just zoned out and shit. That shit does get me high. That statue that the king used to sit at, bro, that man would just sit there and sacrifice people, bro, to the gods for it to rain. So what I'm thinking, it was for the same thing. And the whole reason that I made that connection, bro, is because on the tiger, as y'all see right now, the tiger has green eyes, bro. Bro, I don't know if that statue, they seen it when they were in the DMT trip. The frog is green, bro. The frog is called Buffalo alvarius. It's also called the Sonora desert toad. You could actually find that in Colorado, in the Colorado River, because in the Colorado Zoo, they have the frog, bro. Look at my reaction when I found out there was a frog there like that. Bro, this toad right here is the toad that has the DMT on it.
No way.
Yes, I swear to God. Sonora desert toad. It was just crazy to me, bro, being able to see a real frog that has DMT in it. Mike Tyson and shit, he's the one that really talks about it, bro. And the craziest shit is that man made a strain, bro. The strain is called Toad. Like, he also made a pen like this, bro, and it tastes like toad. The most craziest shit is everybody carries it, bro. Like, humans, they carry it. And the weird shit is that DMT is not legal, bro. I don't know if the government knows about it and they don't want to tell people, bro. You know what I mean? Or they do know about it and they don't want people to know about it. But the reason I say that, bro, is because there's a lot of programs and stuff that the government works on. And it's mind programs, bro. I'm gonna just keep smoking this with y'all, bro. I'm gonna just keep telling y'all story time and shit. That's what I'm gonna be doing now, bro. I'm gonna just be sitting down and just talking to y'all. So look, this is how the government experienced on LSD, bro. They gave it to hookers, bro, like to prostitutes and shit. The prostitutes, they knew about it, bro. The prostitutes, they would go out and give it to people. And the government would sit there and watch people through the mirror. You know what I mean? That shit is weird. Whenever I found out about it, bro, I was just like, damn, I just like brushed it off, right? So look, that's what most people are gonna do when they hear this shit. But look, hear this part, bro. There used to be this girl. She was a prostitute, bro. The most weirdest shit, bro, is that she talks about that the government, bro. It's not that she talks and says that the government, like, physically, like, helped her, you know? But she does say, bro, that the government was fucking with her brain. That the government was helping her in a way as in, like, she was leaving a lot of evidence. And like she was touching everything, like she was just leaving her prints there, bro. You know what I mean? And being really obvious that it was her killing all the people, and they never got her, bro. She killed off so many people, you know what I mean? And the most weirdest part, bro, is that like she talks about that, like she supposedly when she was in her cell, they were like messing with her brain, bro. They put something in her cell and they were messing with her. They had to put some satellite in there. And when she said that, bro, the officer's face on the back, that man's face changed, bro. And it was just weird, bro. And it's just so crazy. Look, I'm finna show y'all the interview with her. It's just so weird.
You know, I was just wondering how you're going to be, you know, at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared. I'm all right. I'm all right with it.
And how...
I'm all right with it, but like I said, remember, let them know that I know that the cops knew who I was. After Richard Mallory died, I left prints everywhere, and they covered it up. And let me kill the rest of those guys to turn me into a serial killer. I know they did, because I was no professional serial killer or anything, or murderer, or whatever you want to call it, you know. It wasn't professional at what I was doing.
Eileen,
I did some sloppy work, you know, and I left
how
prints.
have you prepared yourself for tomorrow morning?
I'm all right with it. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Hey, I was tortured at BCI. They had the intercom on in the room, and they kept lying that it wasn't on, and they were using sonic pressure on my head since 1997.
Sonic pressure?
And every time I was trying to write something, I think they had some kind of eye in the cell, I'm not sure, but every time I started writing something, it went up higher. So I'm thinking that probably had the TV rigged. The TV or the mirror, something was rigged. They got a huge satellite on the compound. After they put the huge satellite on the compound, it could have been either rigged to the TV set or the mirror or something, because the electrician, when he put the mirror on the wall, he said, "Doesn't that look like a computer?" The back of it, and he stuck it to the wall.
And do you think, what, did that affect your mind, do you think?
Huh?
Did that affect your mind in some way, the sonic?
It was crushing my head, and they were using sonic pressure continually. Then when I had 3 meetings with Miss Villacorta on it, every meeting I had, she increased the pressure of the volume of the comm, increased the harassment on the floor, increased the trays being inedible, just increased every bit of my complaints and trashed all grievances. They're trying to make it look like I was crazy at all times, rig up the room with torture. If I said anything about I think their whole plan was to try to make it look like I was totally crazy, and so nobody would believe anything I had to say about anything, and then drive me there if they could. I suffered so bad. I was really struggling to survive. Had a lot of trays that were attempted murder and everything. I had to wash all my food off. And then one day I didn't wash my food off, and I was sick for 3 weeks, almost died.
But you're okay now.
I'm okay. I'm okay. God is going to be there. Jesus Christ is going to be there. All the angels and everything. And, you know, whatever's on the beyond, I think it's going to be more like Star Trek, beaming me up into a space vehicle, man. Then I move on, recolonize to another planet or whatever. But it's whatever's the beyond, I know it's going to be good because I didn't do anything as wrong as they said. I did the right thing. And I saved a lot of people's butts from getting hurt and raped and killed, too.
So are you saying that you killed in self-defense or in cold blood? What do you, because you've changed your story. I'm just trying to
What are you talking about? Change story on what?
No, about whether it was self-defense or not.
I'm not going to say it, you know, I'm not going to get in depth about my cases, Nick. I'm on my way to the chamber, nothing stopping it. You can believe it or you don't have to believe it. That's up to you, man. Put a big question mark on your film.
What more is there to say about the cops? What more do you want to say about the cops?
A lot of stuff. Did you know that they were surveilling me before I killed? And then I knew it? And that it was covered up? Did you know there was helicopters dropping down from the sky, deputy sheriff, with decoys picking me up 4 or 5 months before my arrest? It was covered up?
But nonetheless,
Nobody ever asked me these questions.
Whether the cops were following you or not, Eileen.
Oh, whether the cops were following me or not, Eileen,
okay,
what?
let's say the cops were following you.
Yeah.
Let's say they were following you and they did everything that you're saying they did.
Uh-huh.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
you killed 7 men.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
did.
asking you, what got you to kill the 7 men?
And I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
Not everybody is killing 7 people. So there must have been something in you that was getting you to do that.
Oh, you are lost, Nick.
So
I was a
explain.
hitchhiking hooker.
Right.
Running into trouble. I shoot the guy if I ran into trouble. Physical trouble. The cops knew it. When the physical trouble came along, let her clean the streets. And then we'll pull her in.
But how
That's
come
why.
there was so much physical trouble in because it was all in 1 year. 7 people in 1
Oh,
year.
well. Oh, well.
But why not say now?
Because I'm out of retaliation for taking my life like this and getting rich off it all these years in total pathological lying. Yeah, thanks a lot. I lost my fucking life because of it. Couldn't even get a fair trial. Couldn't even get a fair investigation or nothing. Couldn't even have my appeals right. You sabotaged my ass, society, and the cops, and the system. A raped woman got executed. It was used for books and movies and shit. Ladder climbs, the re-election, everything else. I got a big finger in all your faces. Thanks a lot. You're an inhumane bunch of fucking living bastards and bitches. And you're gonna get your asses nuked in the end. And pretty soon it's coming. You're all gonna get nuked. You don't take fucking human life like this and just sabotage and rip it apart like Jesus on the cross and say thanks a lot for all the fucking money I made off of you. And not care about a human being and the truth being told. Now I know what Jesus was going through. They've been trying to tell the truth, and I keep getting it stepped on. Concerned about if I was raped, I'm not giving you book and movie info. I'm giving you info for investigations and stuff, and that's it.
Now that y'all seen that shit, bro, how do y'all feel about that, bro? The government knew that LSD was powerful. They just wanted to experiment it, bro. And how would they experiment it? On people that, just on random people, bro. How do you get random people? Prostitutes, bro. It's kind of weird right now because in California, where there's prostitutes, that shit is legal, bro. And it's so weird because whenever I want to go interview Freeway Ricky Ross, shout out Freeway Ricky Ross, bro. That time whenever I went and shit, bro, as soon as I left, like a prostitute was getting on the truck and shit. It was crazy, bro. And not just that, but whenever I pulled up and stuff, I was just like sitting there and prostitutes kept like walking back and forth and shit, you know what I mean? And now that's legal, bro. And it's just so weird what like the government has going on, what they want to do, what they're gonna do, you know what I mean? If there's a plan, that's why the prostitutes are legal now. I don't know, bro, that shit is weird. You know why I just brought up Freeway Ricky Ross? Bro, he's one of the main persons, bro, that the government has messed with. It's so crazy, bro. His story is wild, bro. Let me just break it down like this. A bunch of the cocaine sold in California and Los Angeles in 1980s was brought in by the CIA, bro.
You don't write a story saying the CIA was involved in drugs based on one source. I ended up going all over the world and talking to people in Nicaragua and Costa Rica. And they were following me when I was down in Central America, and they told me about it. I mean, they were trying to intimidate me to get me off the story.
Don't give me the conspiracy bullshit. Come on, you're a more intelligent man than that. Well, come on. I mean, come on. There has never been a conspiracy in this country.
The headline read that CIA has been supplying crack cocaine to the inner city gang members in South Central Los Angeles. Totally blew my mind.
Man, I was sitting in prison, I was blown the fuck away. Danilo, Reagan, and all them, flooding South Central with fucking cocaine.
When it started getting out, the reaction from the public was pretty astonishing.
I think it is enough information here to say to the CIA, you stand accused.
Even if the government just turned a blind eye and didn't do anything about it, then you have to start questioning the whole system.
It's just so crazy to me, bro, and it's really interesting to me, and people don't know about it, bro. Whenever in Nicaragua, bro, there was this war, the Russians, bro, they gave those people that were doing the war and stuff against the Nicaraguans, they gave them, bro, $100 million, bro, so they could buy equipment, guns, and all type of shit. The U.S. government gave them 18 million. That shit wasn't enough, bro, because Russia gave them 100 million. So what they did is President Reagan allowed them that all the shipments that they were sending with guns and stuff over there to Nicaragua, in return, bro, they were sending with cocaine.
While some may choose not to believe findings that do not correspond to their preconceptions, we will present the unvarnished truth as we find it.
Now Frederick Hitz comes out and he admits that CIA was protecting drug dealers in Latin America and other places, but didn't have to report it because of an agreement with the Justice Department that they don't have to report these drug traffickers.
The guy that's, the mastermind is just as guilty as the guy on the street corner selling the dope. I mean, that's to me is the amazing part, is when you get a federal agency to admit that they were involved in drug trafficking and still nobody knows about it.
A bunch of it, Freeway Ricky Ross was buying, bro. Everything was just growing, but all the money was getting sent back to the war, Ricky Ross didn't know that. The most craziest shit is, bro, that a bunch of that war got financed by bro, you know what I mean? He did not know what was going on. In 1980s, around the same time, bro, you know how I was just talking about that they were financing the war over there? So look, in 1980s, that's when President Reagan was out, Oliver North was out. Search up 1980s Rafael Quintero, it's a Buffalo Ranch. Whenever that pops up, bro, it's gonna talk about Rafael Quintero. He killed Kiki Camarena and shit like that. So look, bro, let's get into this story, bro. Rafael Quintero, bro, he used to be a big weed dealer. At first, whenever he was growing up and stuff, bro, his uncle, his grandpa, somebody older than him, they were growing weed, right? So whenever they were growing it and stuff, he was younger, learning how to do this shit, Whenever he was learning, bro, he was learning how to do it. He mastered how to make weed. Over there in Mexico, bro, it is Reggie, you know what I mean? He mastered it, bro, and made weed with no seeds in it, Over there in Mexico, it was called sin semilla, no seeds, without seeds. Whenever he made that, bro, he was the first person to get rich, you know what I mean? But they all worked together, It's just so weird, bro, that the government was involved in that shit, you know what I mean? The U.S. government was involved in all of that, bro. You know how I was just talking about Ricky? So look, the most weirdest shit, bro, is that like in the 1980s, all this shit was happening at Buffalo Ranch, right? At the same time that all that was happening, the DEA here in the United States, they sent somebody over there, bro. The DEA is different from the CIA, The DEA sent somebody over there, and they had the DEA just working over there, This dude called Kiki Camarena, he got really involved in this shit, bro. Him being Mexican, he got to understand you don't get involved in shit like that, you know what I mean? You just stay to your own lane, and you don't be a cop, shit like that, you know what I mean? If you are a cop, you gotta work with them, shit like that, bro. And it's just weird as fuck, bro, that man just tried to go against it. And look, this is what happened, bro. So he found out and stuff about that ranch. So if y'all search up the Buffalo Ranch, bro, it says that Kiki Camarena, he got kidnapped by Miguel Gallardo. It's also gonna say he got kidnapped by Rafael Quintero, that he's the one that like operated all this shit, you know what I mean? But in reality, bro, this is a story, bro. So whenever the DA sent somebody over there, it all was going however they wanted to do it. But whenever they sent this Mexican over there called Kiki Camarena, this dude got like really involved, you know what I mean? How I said, but involved as in like the way that he wanted to like find out what was going on, He was really like nosy, And the thing about that, bro, you can't do that, bro. You know? And the cops, his own cops over there were telling him like, hey, don't do this, don't do that, you know, like just watch, you know, like you can't arrest nobody, like you can't really do anything. We're just here to grab notes. But he wanted to do more than that, you know? So what he did, bro, he ended up finding out about that ranch. After Kika Marena found out about it, if you search it up, it supposedly says, bro, that they raided the ranch and they cut off the weed, you know? That did happen, but the thing is that it says that Kika Marena was involved in that. Watch this interview real quick.
Kiki Camarena was ordered kidnapped to be interrogated because he had unknowingly stumbled into a CIA, NSC covert gun running operation. They were supplying weapons secretly to the Nicaraguan Contras. Here, the DEA is supposed to be fighting the war on drugs, and the CIA is the major cartel bringing in like 80% of the cocaine in the 80s. So here we had working for an administration that was okay with funding an unauthorized war in Nicaragua with drug monies. The CIA notoriously, because they don't work under constitutional law, no constitutional parameters, they're not a law enforcement agency. Notoriously, they have basically aligned themselves with criminal cartels, paramilitary groups from other countries, and also intelligence agencies from other countries to do whatever it takes, they say, in preserving the national security of the United States.
This dude that y'all just seen on the camera, bro, he says it's different. He was there whenever like they raided the weed farm and shit, you know, and he says Kika Marena was not there, bro. So like the most weirdest shit is, bro, is that like, damn, I haven't even hit this one. Damn, it tastes really good, honestly, and it's not that bad whenever you do that shit. It's not that bad, bro. That's what's up. This pen is actually dope as fuck. You know how they say that Kika Marena raided it? So by that time, bro, I believe he was already kidnapped. What I also believe is that the CIA sent somebody over there, bro. Rafael Quintero, yeah, he was growing and stuff, but at the same time, the U.S. government had soldiers there training, the same soldiers and stuff that they were fighting in Nicaragua, they had them training there before they got sent over there. Whenever Kika Marena found out about that, bro, the CIA and stuff, they freaked out and they sent one of their own people, bro, and they went and go kill Kika Marena. You know what I mean? They had to kill one of their own people, bro, because that man was going to expose everything and he was going to fuck up the whole plan. And what happened was, bro, that like, look, let me just go back a little bit. You know how I was talking about Freeway Ricky Ross? So look, this is the shit that happened on his case, bro. You know where like all this shit got exposed to the CIA with like cocaine getting flown from Nicaragua and shit like that? Freeway Ricky Ross, bro, they locked him up. But his co-defendant, that same dude that was selling him the cocaine, that dude was a CIA operative. A CIA operative, bro, that is somebody from like a different country that comes over here and joins the CIA, or it is the group of CIA. But they are not real CIA, and the reason of that is because they have a green card, bro. And with that dude being a CIA operative, they couldn't really charge him, bro.
Blandon was always a very nice man. He was actually very soft-spoken. He wasn't about a lot of bling. He was very intelligent. He was formally educated, which is, he differs from any of the other people that I know in that he was formally educated. And on the weekends, I would go and count money for my uncle. I asked him, well, what's this all for? And he kind of filled me in on that their families were very prominent in the government in Nicaragua. And when the Sandinistas came in, they were ousted.
There was a revolution, Sandinistas took over. You know, there was a counter-revolution, which was sponsored by the United States. Reagan was in power, and Reagan was anti-communist.
They are counter-revolutionary, and God bless them for being that way. And I guess that makes them Contras, and so it makes me a Contra, too. They had to support themselves. And how did they support themselves? Drugs into the U.S.
They basically were supporting the Contras and not trafficking in drugs because that was a cool thing to do or because that was their childhood dream, but because they were patriots. They wanted their country back, and for no other reason.
Today, federal agents seized over 400 pounds of coke. Agents say it's the largest haul ever seized on the West Coast.
FBI came in, we got busted. It just came a figure to my mind. I had $65,000 next to my night tables. The money actually was to Contras. So I was called back to the federal building and they say, well, we are going to give you your money back. I think the government didn't want to actually deal with it.
I started following up the story about this drug trafficker who had, during the 1980s, worked for this group called Contras, and how he had sold cocaine in the United States, and specifically in South Central Los Angeles, to support this CIA operation down in Central America.
Basically ran down to me that Blandone was a government informant who was selling crack cocaine to Ricky Ross with the acquiescence and knowledge of the United States government, which was mind-boggling.
So you were running the Los Angeles operation, isn't that correct?
Yes. But remember, we were running just whatever we were running in LA, it was going to the counter-revolution.
Look, there's a little other crazy story, bro, that like, whenever it was time, like the cops and stuff, whenever it was time to raid them, you know, they went and raided the house, bro. That dude opened the door, bro, and when he opened that door, that dude was like, what are you doing here? And that dude was like, no, I'm a CIA. And they went through his house, bro, looking for drugs and money and shit like that. You know what they found, bro? They found paperwork of like bombs and stuff.
We had heard that Freeway Rick was getting his dope from a very main or big operator, a guy named Danilo Blandon. This guy is delivering to South Central, and he had 13 locations. 13 locations at one time is a very big deal. So it was a big operation. We get to the house, Ron Lester's house, and we knock on the door, and he says, yeah, I know who you are. I work for the CIA, and you're not supposed to be here. I said, well, can we talk inside? We're searching through it, and we're finding all this military information, you know, laws, rocket launchers, different weapons. I grabbed as much as I could as far as information. It looked important, so I took it. There was no drugs in the house. There was no reason to take them. When we all got back to the station, everybody's waiting for the crew that's going to come in and say, hey, we got 100 kilos. Everybody shows up empty-handed. The same story from everybody else is that we got burned. Somebody burned us. The only place where there was dope was at Danilo Blandon's house, and it was a gram of coke. They arrested Danilo. The following day, one of the guys in the office said, hey, the feds were down here yesterday and took everything that you seized at the house. I said, well, you know what? I think we're into something that's bigger than us, something we really can't deal with.
This nation cannot abide the communization of Central America. We cannot have Soviet bases on the mainland of this hemisphere. And I still, to this day, Counsel, don't see anything wrong with taking the Ayatollah's money and sending it to support the Nicaraguan freedom fighters.
As long as there is breath in this body, I will speak and work, strive and struggle for the cause of the Nicaraguan freedom fighters.
Danilo was let go. So Ricky Ross was going to be our target.
What is the explanation of that, bro? Isn't that fucking weird, bro? That's on Freeway Ricky Ross case, bro. Freeway Ricky Ross story is fucking crazy. He's coming on the show for the second time pretty soon. It's not smooth, like it's smooth, but at the same time it still burns you, you know. It's distillate. If they like next time, bro, I'm gonna get some of these, but it's gonna be live rosin and shit. I'm gonna see like the difference, because I noticed, bro, that live rosin is way smoother, way better. Like, what is y'all thoughts on like the government and shit fucking with people, bro? And what is y'all's thoughts on that fucking story that I just said, bro? Like Kika Manena getting killed by the CIA, bro. I be searching up some crazy shit, and look, that Freeway Ricky Ross story, bro, I was searching it up on him because I was gonna interview him, you know what I mean? I interviewed him already. Make sure you go watch that video and shit. After I started listening to that interview, bro, of bro and them talking about that, like he was there whenever they went to go raid the farm, and Kika Manena wasn't there raiding it, bro, right there and then I was just like, oh shit, that nigga got kidnapped, you know what I mean? And then that man, he just proceeded on saying, bro, the CIA kidnapped him, you know?
One of the main reasons too that I was placed in charge of the investigation is because I had been a homicide detective before I came into the DEA. So they knew that I had homicide experience. When I came on into the case, I was told that Camarena had been kidnapped and tortured by the drug lords because he had caused them great losses in seizing 10,000 tons of marijuana at the Buffalo Ranch growing area in Chihuahua, Mexico. That's what I was told and believed until I started looking into the case, and I called the agent that had been in charge of the Buffalo, Chihuahua seizures and asked him what Kiki's involvement was. And he told me, to my surprise, he said, Hector, Kiki Camarena had nothing to do with the seizure of the 10,000 tons of marijuana at Buffalo. I said, are you sure? I am being told here that that was the main motive. And he said, Hector, that's a false narrative. They're not telling you the truth. Kiki did not participate in the raids. I know, I ran the raids. So at the very beginning, I started to think something's wrong here. Something doesn't smell right. Then I am able to recruit, believe it or not, a CIA operative working in Mexico. I had witnesses that were telling me that there was this white guy, Anglo, that was working within the Mexican Directorate of Federal Security, the DFS. They called him, his nickname was Torre Blanca because it means White Tower. And they called him White Tower because he was a very tall Anglo guy that was almost 6-7 feet tall. And I wondered, what is this guy doing working with the DFS in Mexico? That's incredible. I knew that the DFS had something to do with Kiki's kidnapping, so I reached out to this guy. He had to have known what was going on during the time that Camarena was picked up. I called him and I told him, I said, listen, I am in charge of the Camarena case, and I know you're working with the DFS, and as you and I know, the DFS was involved in the kidnapping of Camarena, and I need you to come talk to me. And he said, I'm not going to talk to you. He said, Hector, you don't even know what you're involved in. He said, leave me alone. And I said, listen, if you don't cooperate with me, I'm going to kidnap your white ass, and I'll bring you up here. And you know that I'm serious, and you know that I'll do it, because I've already kidnapped one guy out of Mexico, referring to Dr. Machine. And I said, I'll kidnap your white ass. So he said, okay. He said, I'll meet with you. He said, you know I can't go down there, because by then I had a warrant for my arrest for kidnapping Dr. Machine, who had injected drugs into Camarena. So he said, okay. He said, what are we going to do? I said, I want to send some of my agents to meet with you in Guadalajara, and I want you to talk to them but I really need you to come to the United States and talk to me. So basically, I sent 4 agents down there. They set up a meeting at a hotel room in Guadalajara. An agent from Mexico City by the name of Dale Simpson shows up, and he says he's been told to participate in the interview. My agents called me and they said, hey, something strange has happened. He said, another agent from Mexico City just arrived by the name of Dale Stinson, who said he's been ordered to partake in the interview with Harrison. I said, I don't have a problem. Go ahead and let him participate. Well, this DA agent named Dale Stinson requested to speak with Larry Harrison alone, without basically away from being observed by my agents. He met with Larry in the hotel room alone. 3 minutes later, Larry Harrison, the CIA guy, comes out and says, hey, listen, I want nothing to do with you guys. I don't want to cooperate, and left, upset. My agents then asked Dale Stinson, what happened? And he said, well, I don't know. I guess the guy's got cold feet. He doesn't want to cooperate after all. And that was it. They came back empty-handed. It took me a year to find this guy again because he went and hid. I finally found him hiding in the Oaxaca mountains of Mexico. I got him on the phone again, and I said, Larry, you need to come talk to me. There's no place you can run or hide. You see, I will always find you. You better come over here and cooperate with me. He said, okay, I'll agree to meet with you, but only in the United States, and nobody must know that I'm coming. We flew him to Los Angeles. I met with him, and during my initial interview, he told me, he said, Hector, he says, you don't know what you've gotten yourself into. We killed Kiki Camarena. I said, what do you mean we? He says, we both work for the same government. I'm a CIA operative. He said, and Camarena was ordered, kidnapped, and to be interrogated by my agency, the CIA, and NSC. I almost fell out of my chair. I said, what are you telling me? He says, yes. He says, we use the cartels to assist us in kidnapping him and interrogating him. I did not participate myself, but he said my handler did. And I was shocked. I gathered there was something very sinister from the very beginning of the investigation, because I had worked in Mexico, and the drug dealers, they don't take time to kidnap a guy, blindfold him, interrogate him, make copies of the interrogation. When the cartel wants to kill somebody, they machine gun him down wherever he's at. They'll walk into an office, shoot somebody in an office, kill somebody in his car, kill somebody in front of his family in his house. But this was a very sinister, very strange investigation. Why was Kiki blindfolded? And why was he tape recorded? And Harrison gave me the answer, because they wanted to know what he knew. What had happened, as I stated before, Camarena unknowingly, found out that tons of cocaine were being flown into Caro Quintero's ranch in Veracruz. So he started an investigation into that ranch in Veracruz. What Camarena did not know was that that ranch was being used by the NSC and the CIA to train Contras, and they were using that as a transshipment location to ship weapons from there directly to Ilipango, where they were later issued to the Contra freedom fighters.
But after that shit makes so much sense to me, and I just had to share this story with y'all, bro. Oh yeah, now I'm a news guy too, bro. I'll be doing news and shit.
Him to the bus stop, gave him $400 right before he hopped out. Told him one love, pure loyalty is all we got.
Bro, I just woke up and shit. That shit got me fucking stoned, brother. Hold on. That shit bleed. That one's good. Wait, that's the one you wanted to hear? Or the green one? Both of them or one in the trail?
I'll for sure, yeah, bro. That one way, it tastes like Kool-Aid or some shit, you know? Oh, it tastes really good, you know? But the other one, bro, you're gonna be impressed on its fucking taste. It had me tripping. Like,
it gives me a hint of grape Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that is what that is crazy. That's actually really crazy because that's the same flavor that I got as
Like
soon as I hit it.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Same.
I got clientele. 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 Those a bag, they dropped on the scale. Get a pack next day through the mail. But you don't want to go to jail.
I don't know if when I hit him like that, bro, if you can taste the metal in this shit. I don't think so. I'm tripping. I haven't been able to blink this whole bro. Probably just like one time. Every time I like blink this shit, bro, I could taste like filter. I don't know if I'm hitting it too hard or something. A ver, bebé, turn it around. Hey, bebé niño, bebé Luis. He likes plants. He's trying to sit down. Oh, he's touching the grass. Honestly, bro, this one right here, I did enjoy it, you know what I mean? Like, it got me really high. That's the thing, it got me really high. Like, a little bit different from, like, the rosin stuff or, like, just regular weed, you know what I mean? This one, bro, it's kind of weird and stuff because every time I hit it, I think I'm tasting, like, the filter and stuff. And that's not good, bro. Like, I don't think that's good. You're not supposed to be tasting any filter. I don't know if the battery's too cheap or some shit, you know? But this video is over with. There's way more weed reviews coming and shit. So that one, I think it tasted like Kool-Aid, like purple punch or the red punch. Either way.